Good morning, Tom. Yes, how are you? I am doing just fine. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, Sybil and Jay. How you guys doing this morning? Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, I am. I know. Well, I'm going to try to put some purpose in this party. Tom, generations are seldom on the same page, right? I mean, come on, young folks and old folks, they have fundamentally different ways of looking at the world. They always have, and perhaps they always will. You got some older people, they might be just a bit more conservative, a bit more established, and traditional in their approach to life. Well, young people, of course, well, as one might expect, they likely have less reverence and less respect for the rules and traditions and standards. And that's natural, right? I mean, I get that. I get that, Tom. But what I don't get, or let me just say what I'm not trying to get, is how far MTV has gone with this new show, Skins. It's the one that folks have been talking about. Yep, Sybil, you obviously have seen the ads. It's the one that's featuring these sexual and drug-fueled exploits of some misfit teenagers, Tom. Now, Jay, you may have seen some of these crazy ads out there. They have these drugged out looking teens with barely any clothes on, laying up on top of each other. I mean, the show is causing quite a bit of controversy. In fact, you have H&R Block, got Wrigley, General Motors, Taco Bell. They all have recently pulled their ads for Skins because of the racy content and the promotionals that I'm talking about. Show's been targeted for possibly running afoul of federal child pornography laws. Yep, and last week, under fire, an MTV spokesperson attempted to justify the show and its content by claiming, well, this show addresses real-world issues confronting teens in a frank way. I mean, come on, spare me. Now, I'm not so naive that I don't understand that far too many teens are sexually active or addicted to drugs. These issues are unfortunately too real in our communities. But I'm saying, come on, please, don't try to sell me some crap about how this show is in some way constructive to teen life. When you're just straight up, and I mean straight up, pimping this vehicle for shock value, for demographics, of course, for money and ratings. Here's my analogy, Tom. Yeah, I'm saying it's not that car wrecks don't happen. They do. But I have a problem. I have a real problem with anyone who glorifies those wrecks and in the process sends the message to our teens that crashing cars is not only attractive, but it's what teens do anyway. Skins are the wrecks. This show is just wrong in so many ways, Sybil. It's insane. First, let me say it's not reality TV. And why do I say it? I say because the show is scripted. So again, spare me the dealing with real-world issues routine. Second, and in case you didn't hear me the first time, Skins recently had to tone down its content since it risked violating federal child pornography laws. And why is this? Well, it's because the show, which is carrying a TVMA label and supposedly intended for ages 18 and above, wink wink, employs a bunch of actors who are, guess what, Jay? That's right. Yep, these actors are minors themselves. In fact, the youngest person in the cast is only 15. I mean, this is just incredible, and it seemingly just gets worse. Third, according to Nelson Company, in its opening episode, Skins, the show that allegedly is not intended for minors, drew 1.2 million people. And let me just say that was 1.2 million children who are younger than 18 years old. The Parents Television Council, which is a watchdog group, called Skins the worst or the most dangerous program that has ever been foisted on your children. And while there is little to no black representation on the screen as far as the cast goes, I want you to make no mistake about it. There will be a bunch of black youth watching the screen. Given that this show is on MTV, as I said, it's being widely promoted by Viacom, which is the company that owns both MTV and BET. And we all know that there's a bunch of data that's already out there that tells us that unfortunately poor African American youth watch more TV than their peers do. So this is just problematic, as I said, on so many levels, so many fronts. And as a parent, as an educator, as a commentator, I'm just not down with it. I personally think that we need to shed the skins. So if you're interested in speaking out against this show, you can go to Viacom.com. It's the Viacom.com and scroll down to the bottom and you'll go to their link for contacts and let them know what you think. Or you can go ahead and link up with Parents Television Council at parentstv.org. It's parents with an S, TV.org, and find out about additional steps you can take and let your voice be heard. And I also want to say this before I go. I just want to say that we need to spend more time with our children, getting their perspectives, and yes, sharing our perspectives with them on shows like Skins. I'll leave you with this quote from the National Council on Causes and Prevention of Violence concerning the influence of television. They say children are inclined to learn from television because it is never too busy to talk to them, and it never has to brush them aside. Until next time, this is Stephanie, in love and hope. Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, thank you, Sybil. All right. Have a good week.